what's going on YouTube? So today I have the Washington Redskins, and I'm not going to do too much on this video. I am going to tell you what I do have for the Washington Redskins. I do have a 4.5 that they're going to need, and that's just to get them to even as far as their record is concerned. Looking through here, they lost by 4, they lost by 4 with Philly. I think Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than the backup they did have last year. I think, who is it? Heineke. Um, Hopefully, I'm not saying his name wrong, but he is slightly better. He did have more touchdowns, but we have to put that in context and perspective. He was on a better football team as far as the Colts was concerned. I do think their offensive line was a lot better. I do think the halfback was a lot better, and the defense was a lot better than Washington. Now, Carson Wentz is on the Washington football team, and I'm looking for them to repeat what they did last year, even with Carson Wentz on that team. He may do just as good as the backup or maybe a little worse, but we'll see. I don't see them going too far, especially with Chase still on IR, but I do have a 4.5 for Washington and a over and under 43.5. So if you're looking for an over for Washington, look for, and if you're just basing it on Washington, they definitely need over 43.5. That's if they're facing a team that you like them to go over, and then under, they definitely need a 43.5 to go under. But with that being said, Washington, I'm looking at them to be even and do the same thing they did last year as far as the record is concerned. Also, you look at the teams. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. I'm not going to spend too much time with this team, but I am going to go to their opponents and show you who they play. Everybody in orange is who they may have a problem against, or actually, no, they will have a problem against these teams. And everybody that's not highlighted, like Houston, Falcons, actually, I think they're probably going to have a problem with. Yeah, I think they're going to have a problem with the Titans. They're going to have a problem with them. And everybody else, like the Jags, the Lions, depending on how the Lions start, if they're healthy, if they are healthy, the Lions might be a lot better than advertised. So we have to keep that in mind when we go out and make our bets. So we had the Jags, we had the Lions, we had the Chicago Bears, and the Falcons in Houston. All of these teams are kind of on their level, and depending on what the Browns are at this point in the season, they did lose a couple key injuries as far as a center and a kick returner. And if you can't return kicks, that's yards left off the board, but you can get somebody to return kicks. But the center is hard to replace. They do have enough time to get another center synchronized with the offensive line or with the quarterback as far as the snap count is concerned. So I'm not really too concerned about that. What I am concerned looking into the future is how they're performing in their injuries. So that's what I'm looking at when it comes to the Bears. Everybody else in orange and in light blue, as we can see from last year, they only beat New York. All right, they only beat them by 1 and 15. Everybody else, they lost by at least 4.5. So again, Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles got better. The Cowboys, they did not. They actually got a little worse, but I think they can still handle the Washington Redskins. Again, it's my opinion. And looking at all of these other teams, everybody in orange is going to definitely give them problems. They're definitely going to need +4, and if you're looking at to tease them, they're going to need to be teased in the upper teens. As you can see here, 22, 11, 18, 14, they're going to need to be teased extremely high. So you might want to actually look at the better team and tease them down facing the Washington Redskins. Also, you have the Giants, but that's all I have for Washington. Again, I'm not going to sit here and talk too much on the Washington Redskins. I'm just going to go ahead and look at the power rankings and what's been going on as of late. Now, I do have the Dallas Cowboys. They are taking a bunch of hits. They just lost their left tackle, Smith. That's a huge hit going into the season. Washington and Gallup, they're out, both of their wide receivers this year. and they're kind of limited on wide receivers at the moment. Kind of limited. You're just stuck with was it CC Lamb? And it just gets to a point where you face Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm liking Tampa Bay more and more as the season approach, and I do like that -4.5 for them, and they're getting really good value with that -1.5 as far as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go. Because again, they lost a left tackle, they lost 2 wide receivers. I'm looking to bet Tampa Bay, so I'm gonna have to make that bet as soon as possible. Also, Arizona Cardinals, they're still in red, still on decline because of their wide receiver issues. You know, Hopkins ain't gonna be back until 6 games. So then Brown, I'm not really sure on his status. I'm not sure if he's playing week 1, but right now I'm thinking he's gonna play week 1, and that's probably gonna help him a little bit. And they do have a good enough team to stick around with teams. So I did have a -2.5 from him. I'm probably gonna turn that into, they're gonna need a positive 2.5. So I'm looking to take the points in that first game they have against the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, who else? 49ers. Looks like Trey Lance is the guy. So Trey Lance. Also, if you look over here, defensive tackle, left end, safety is going to be out the first week, and the corner. So right now, their defense is suffering. He's going to be out 4 games. Jeez. Yeah, the defense is kind of hurting right now. And, Lord behold, here we go. We got the Chargers. Again, this is what I've been worried about as far as the Chargers. They just required J.C. Jackson, and he's hurt for 2 to 4 weeks. Their rookie halfback, Spiller, he's hurt for a week. And it just gets to a point where, all right, now you're the guy you just acquired and your rookie halfback, Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, a few guys on the defense, Bosa, all those guys went out on injury last year, and they got older this year. So that's the only thing that concerns me about this Chargers team is the health of the team. Hopefully that is it as far as injuries with their starters. Right now they still have a good team in place to do what they need to do and to pretty much succeed. But again, those older experienced guys, they seem to be hurt, and you just need to be they need to get younger around this quarterback, around Herbert. So they need to get younger. They do. I'm sorry to say. But that's the only thing I'm worried about. Everything else, as far as the Broncos, they did lose a wide receiver, but I'm sure they're going to find another guy to replace that position. The Colts been kind of quiet as far as injuries that maybe I didn't see it, but as far as I know, the Colts are pretty quiet. The Raiders are pretty quiet. Eagles, as far as the injuries, Vikings, and now we are with the Bengals. Well, no, bro, he got his appendix removed. As far as major injuries, nothing. Hopefully his appendix removal does not affect his play going into week 1. But then again, we're going to keep an eye on that. Pittsburgh, it's been quiet. Wait a minute. I think, did someone get hurt? I don't think so. I think Pittsburgh's been kind of quiet, and they've been actually really doing pretty good this preseason with their quarterbacks. So Tennessee's been quiet. Carolina Panthers, as far as Baker Mayfield, obviously he's the starting quarterback. That wasn't a doubt in my mind. But looking at it, I'm looking at the Panthers. I got them in green because I want to push them up. I think Baker. You see the attitude. I've been watching the Carolina Panthers really closely, and their attitude has been changing as far as Baker Mayfield was concerned when he got to the team and he started performing. Because we have to remember, Baker Mayfield was in one of the toughest divisions there were in the National Football League with Mike Tomlin and Jim Harbaugh, and then with those defenses too. Those defenses have been tough. The only light in the tunnel was the Bengals, where they were pretty much beating them up. But as far as last year, that didn't happen at all. Well, actually, no, they did beat up the Bengals pretty good. They did beat up the Bengals. I think they won both of their games facing the Bengals. The Browns, as we can see, wide receiver, kicker, the kick returner and their center was out. Chase for Washington. The Giants have just been taking hits. They got the left tackle. think that was the rookie left tackle. He was out. Linebacker, another wide receiver out. Oh yeah, Seattle Seahawks. You had guys retiring. And again, you had Chicago Bears. Like Chicago Bears just had so many. Had a busy offseason in a negative way. That's why I have 132. No, uh, I'm not trying to insult the Bears or the Bear fans or anybody as far as in Chicago, but man, it's just been bad. They just had a bad offseason, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a pretty season this season. I'm sorry to say. I mean, the facts are the facts. But other than that, I'm definitely looking at Tennessee Titans to beat New York. With everything, like they're not even going to be able to stop the run. And then you have one of the best halfbacks in the league. So that defensive line is going to have to step it up. Williams is hurt. And that's pretty much all I see. Oh, Tampa Bay. Yeah, obviously, they had line problems. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm keeping my eyes on the Ravens here. Jones, he was out to 3 to 5 weeks. That's their nose tackle. So, yeah, just keep an eye on that. Other than that, I'm definitely updating this as the season goes on. And let's see if I can. All right, so let's get into the actual season. Now, I might have to do another video on this to actually show you some of my picks, but just so you were clear, I did bet on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got them at a 6.5 and 1 through 13. I do like that bet. I do like the Steelers to win. They're getting really good value. Also, you get in the Saints, the Raiders, and the Broncos. These are all games I bet on. Also, I have a teaser. I got the Rams, 7.5. I got Pittsburgh, 12.5. I got Philly and Detroit, the over. But I do have a 45.5, and I do have a 45.5 for the Rams and the. Oh, that's not the Rams. Those are the Raiders and the Chargers. So those are the teasers I have. I think all of these is for like $100 each. Also, I do have, who is this? Minnesota with 8 and Denver with a half a point. And I tease those up and down. And if you see my Minnesota video, you see why I got them at an 8. But other than that, I did make a couple of other bets as far as 11-leg parlays, 4-leg parlays, 12-leg parlays, and the 8-leg parlay, because you have to put yourself in position to actually win a big payout, in my opinion. And again, this is all for like $100, and I broke up those $100 into 4 different parlays. But that's all I have for you today. Like, subscribe, share. Also follow me this season, see how I do. Hopefully I can make some money and come out on top. We'll see. But like, subscribe, share. Most importantly, bet wisely. Bet wisely. It's going to be very interesting taking all the information I got in the off season and making it work for me, making it work for this season coming up. So I'm kind of excited. We'll see what happens. But that's all I have. Like, subscribe, share. Yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this real fast. Everything in green is pretty much what I'm gearing towards, just so you know. All right.